There are definitely specific dietary recommendations. I am not a nutritionist. A proper nutritionist needs to also be consulted, but I will tell you generally what we give them as recommendation when we are giving them the other tips to the parents. What is very important is that a balanced diet has to be there, and sugar has to be completely in control, because sugar is something which causes a lot of spikes in their hyperactivity, and that is why even when they go for birthdays, it is to be ensured and they are to be trained that they cannot have the cake which is over there, which is sugar loaded. And there are cases when children go for birthdays and they come back or they throw tantrums over there, or they start screaming and shouting there, and it is not their fault, it's because the sugar has gone in it. They benefit tremendously from iron and zinc because they have that deficiency. Magnesium, foods which have magnesium like banana, and potassium, again banana, all these rich omega-3 foods have to be given to them. All these protein, high in protein, very low in fatty acids or fatty foods, and carbohydrates. These have to be very low what they are given to him. And this is the common mistake made by parents by giving them burgers or giving them fast foods. They need to be given the balanced homemade food and no sweets. That is very, very important for them. There is a wonderful book by Dr. Alan Cott. I refer to that book when I am giving recommendations to the parents of what kind of food is to be given. For example, if they are eating Chinese food, it is very essential that Ajinomoto is not there. When they are eating biscuits, it is essential that maida products are not there, given to them. When they are eating sweets, even fruits are very good for them. But if some fruits, it's the quantity. You cannot have a heap full of grapes. It will be again overload of sugar. So everything needs to be in as a balanced diet. The answer to your question is yes, that developmental delays do cause ADHD or autism or other disorders. And what we see in the disorders is that the cognitive, the social, the emotional, all these abilities are affected. For example, in ADHD, social skills are affected in some children, whereas in some children they really want to interact with others, but because the other children don't understand them, they have issues over there. Cognitive is definitely affected because they have memory issues. They have short attention span. They cannot wait for their turn to learn or even while playing. Like in the class, if teacher asks a question, at times before the teacher has completed the question, they put their hand up and then they forget what answer to give. So then they forget, and that really irritates some of the teachers. So we need to understand that a lot of classroom changes are also required for them when we are working with them. As far as emotional abilities are concerned, then there they again have these outbursts. Sometimes, like in autism, they are not able to express, or they have blunt emotions. They cannot identify or between the sad and the happiness emotions. So all these areas are affected, and what needs to be done at home and in school, both I will mention. At home, first of all, the parents need to ensure that they are very vigilant. Mostly all parents are vigilant, and they are always looking at the baby, calling out the name to the child. In autism, if the child is not responding to the parent or the caregiver at 9 months also, then they need to see that a flag has to be raised, and they need to see their pediatrician first. The pediatrician needs to send them to the developmental pediatrician or a psychiatrist or psychologist who are going to carry out the checklist of what is happening, if the milestones are going in the proper growth or no. And then they need to refer them to the various assessments.